Good morning. What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the My Crypto Journey live stream here for Coffee and Crypto on a beautiful Wednesday day down here in sunny San Diego. Finally, we got some good weather. Do me a favor, before we get started, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you like being here. And remember, if you're a member on my channel, you're entered to win free crypto every Monday. No catch. All you have to do is send me your seed phrases. Just kidding. Now, today's a pretty big day. I think we know what we're going to get, right? And we're talking about, of course, the interest rate hikes that are yet to be announced. I think they're going to be announced. I think it's 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Someone correct me. Might be wrong on that one. But I know Jerome is going to be speaking very soon and let us know how much more we are hiking interest rates. Now, we did get the CPI data yesterday. It was actually pretty damn good. It's still bad because inflation's still hot, right? But still, that data was better than expected. And hopefully today we get as expected when it comes to interest rate hikes, which would be 50 basis points. We'll see what happens. Nobody knows. But we're expecting 50 basis points. Anything lower than that would send the markets to the damn stratosphere. Anything higher than that would dump the markets. Yeah, it is cold in San Diego. It's cold. It's cold in San Diego right now. It's freezing. I'm like freezing. It's been an abnormally cold winter here in San Diego. Like there's places where there have snow on the ground that never get snow. It's crazy. It's crazy. As for SBF, yesterday he was denied bail and he had a court hearing and he may not even get extradited until February. Now we're going to watch a video from CNBC, which has done a pretty good job covering cryptocurrency. And they said something very interesting because yesterday, hearing our government talk about, cryptocurrency lets you know how much they don't know about crypto and how really embarrassing it is, right? It's embarrassing. I don't know, because here's the thing. When people spoke to our government before, AOC and other people, right, and this is like in January, right? January, February. And since then, it feels like they haven't taken the time to even understand cryptocurrency. It's like they're still like kind of really like super novices when it comes to this thing. Now, I'm sure they have a million and one things to think about, right? And worry about. But crypto is probably something they should start to learn about because it's kind of the future, right? And of course, the last story is going to be, is Binance in trouble? A lot of FUD circulating around in the Twitter sphere and the news. Like the cover of I think it was CNBC is like Binance being in trouble. Like that's kind of crazy. It's like on a day where we're getting interest rate announcements, on a day where, the top story should be SBF. It's like, geez, it's crazy. It's crazy, But the cryptocurrency markets are trading sideways, not really doing much, kind of dirtling, waiting for the news for the Federal Reserve. So we're going to see what happens with that. But right now, the market's just kind of trading sideways. Like I said, I mean, who knows when the bottom is? A lot of people are calling this the bottom, but I don't know. I don't know. I think it's a little premature to call this a bottom. I think that we could have another Black Swan event. But the beauty about Black Swan events is that they're Black Swan events and no one knows when they're going to happen. So do me a favor, smash that like button. Let's get started. Let me say hi to the chat and then we'll send it. What's up, babies? How y'all doing? What's up, Javi? How you doing, baby? What's up? Yeah, smash that like button. What's up, Maddie B? Andrew Farall, Cobra Commander. What's up, Mizzy Matt? What's up, DJ? DJ with the supreme editing skills on his food. For his freaking Instagram. What's up, Paul? How you doing? What's up, Frank? What's up, Jay? What's up, Slim Cheeses? What's up, Bud? How you doing? What's up, babies? Javi, Gabe? What's up, Original Savage with the, what's up, Timbo Slice? How you doing, baby? Sacco, speak to my manager. What's up, Jason? How you doing, bro? Hung like a tortoise. Let's see. What's up, Crypto Art? How you doing? What's up, May you be well? How you doing, baby? Yeah, if XRP can time that lawsuit with 50 basis point in December, yeah, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. Well, we're already starting to pivot, right? We're already starting to pivot. But what's up, Chris? How you doing, baby? Yes, I am complaining about it's freezing here. What's up, Jayhawk? How you doing, baby? What's up, Steve? How you doing? Good morning. Good morning. What's up, Robert? Good morning from Arizona. Hey, how's it going? I bet it's hot over there still, right? What's up, Guarana? How you doing? Good morning. What's up, Edmund? How you doing, baby? What's up, baby? What's up, WebTorp? How you doing? What's up, OG Carlito? What's up? What's up? We got the squad in here today. What's up, Gizmo? Downtown Podcast. Let's go. All right, let's get into the news. Okay, so let's watch this news story about Sam Bankman-Fried. It's very revealing about yesterday, his court hearing in the Bahamas.
So it was a rough day for Sam Bankman-Fried, Brian, in terms of getting him back to the U.S. for trial. Not much is expected to happen on that front until February.
First of all, that's the first time I've seen SBF in some clean ass clothes, right? Look at him. I bet like his closet's full of like FTX shirts and like basketball shorts, right?
8th, which is the date of his next hearing in the Bahamas. And even then, it's unclear whether Bankman-Fried will be headed stateside, because even though the U.S. and the Bahamas have this extradition treaty, the process has numerous appeals built into it. So unless Bankman-Fried agrees to be extradited, essentially waiving his rights here, which his lawyers say he is not going to do, then it could be a while until the ex-CEO of FTX is back on U.S. soil. One legal expert tells me he could put this off for months, if not years. He also has his parents, both Stanford law professors, literally by his side through this. They were physically there in the courtroom yesterday, apparently pretty animated at times.
That's crazy, right? Your parents, right, who are both like well versed in law and stuff like that, are there defending him. And so, there are appeals that you have to go through, or you can submit, right? So you don't get extradited right away. So Sam's probably not going to be in the U.S. for a little bit. I'm not sure what the process is going to look like. Of course, it's all hearsay. We don't know. But I can assume that his parents are going to ride or die for him. And that's a sticky situation for a kid. Can you imagine it being a parent and one of your kids does something heinous? I've seen some ridiculous defenses of children from delusional parents, right? Some parents are just delusional. Their kid can do no wrong. But here's the thing. We're not in their shoes. Our child is not in trouble. But damn, man, damn. This is crazy, right? Now, I'm starting to get a little more of the conspiracy theory about them arresting him before he could testify. We'll watch a video on that too, but let's continue this because CNBC has done a pretty stellar job when it comes to covering all these stories.
And then all this was happening on the same day that the Justice Department unsealed its 8-count indictment against him, not to mention the civil filings, including conspiracy to commit wire fraud on customers and lenders, money laundering, and violations of campaign finance laws. So, you've got both the Securities and Exchange Commission and the agency that regulates virtual currencies, the CFTC, filing charges as well. So definitely not the best day for SBF, Brian.
Yeah, and it's not been the best year, certainly for his investors. All right, what is next for this fraud case? Is there anybody else that may get caught in the crosshairs? And I'm looking at you, Caroline Ellison.
Right. So when federal prosecutors from the Southern District of New York outlined their criminal case against Bankman-Fried on Tuesday, they made it clear their pursuit of other potentially involved parties linked to the FTX collapse is not over. When asked if authorities will charge other individuals, the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District, Damian Williams, told a press conference, "We're not done." And remember that Bankman-Fried was charged with several conspiracy counts, a charge that is a bit hard to justify if he was working alone. And, it's been a big team effort here between the SEC, the CFTC, the DOJ, and the FBI. But it's really SDNY that's in the driver's seat because they have the access and the ability to use the grand jury. And that's key because it gives them the chance to hold proceedings secretly. So
Now, I thought that was interesting because obviously we saw some conspiracy charges, but I wonder how many of the people that conspired with him to do all this stuff are going to get like serious charges because a lot of them are rolling the fuck over. And that's the reason why they were able to bring charges so quickly. And I think they talk about it in this or another news one was because they were working with them, right? Like I said, there was like those non-encrypted apps like Signal that you could use to communicate, and they were using to communicate, allegedly naming the group wire fraud, which I think might be fake. I haven't heard it from anywhere else, which would be very like stupid, right? But I mean, I wouldn't put it past these guys. So I'm interested to see who's going to get charged. It's going to be very, very interesting. Now, we all assume that Caroline, my girlfriend, and actually my wife, she's my wife, okay? Former orgy partner of Sam Bankman-Fried, which I will forgive her for since she is my baby girl. She was seen in New York, right, a week before he got arrested. So no coincidence, right? She's probably there telling on him because he's been throwing her under the bus publicly, on all those interviews, and probably going to do it when he has to testify under oath. Now, here's the thing. People are saying, and we'll listen to the story here in a second, but people are saying that they arrested him right before he testified. But this motherfucker has been testifying all month on Twitter live spaces. Now, here's the thing. Would he lie under oath? Maybe. People do all the time. Would I put it past SBF? No. He's been lying to us for 3 years, right? Since the creation of FTX. I wouldn't put it past him lying under oath. So I'm not sure if him testifying matters, but maybe he got arrested before he could testify, right? Let's continue.
I'm hearing that ongoing pieces of the investigation will remain outside the public's view. Former prosecutors also tell me that there's likely some sort of cooperation with former FTX employees happening now, which is why things have been moving along so quickly.
There it is.
Yeah, a bit hard to conspire with yourself. I'm just saying, if they have conspiracy, that means you did it. Yes, I did. Good for you. I mean, so anyway, there's other people they're clearly looking at. All right. It is another day of congressional testimony. We get to hear how little most members of Congress know about crypto. But that aside, what else are we looking at later today?
That's so true, right? If members of Congress don't know what the fuck, they just lost. They're just lost. They assume that like every like terrorist or criminal uses crypto to do heinous things. You know what I mean? Like they're just lost. It's so awkward. So I don't know what requirements or what's required of them, but they have to learn about crypto. It's the future, right? I know it's just one part of the many problems they face every day, but it's like we got to learn about it, right? You got to learn about it. So it seems like they haven't been doing their homework this last, I don't know, year.
Hey, McKinsey.
Right. So today it's the Senate's turn to investigate the implosion of FTX and the knock-on effects for the consumer. The Senate Committee on Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs meets at 10 a.m. on the East Coast. We're going to hear from a few professors and the actor and author Ben McKenzie. He's also on the witness list. This comes one day after the House Financial Services Committee spent 4 hours grilling John Ray, the new CEO of FTX. He described a scandal worse than what he saw at Enron when it collapsed 20 years ago.
I mean, there was no corporate controls, no corporate oversight, no independent board, and the owners of the business, the senior management had, virtual control of the accounts of each of the silos and could move money or assets, as they desired, undetected by customers. To the extent there were rules, and there were very few, obviously they were made to be broken.
So Ray also pointed to the fact that this crime really didn't have much to do with crypto at the end of the day. He said it was an example of embezzlement, among other things. So we're going to be monitoring that hearing today, Brian, see if we get new information from some of those witnesses.
Yeah, and what was interesting is what I'm hearing out of all this is that they're saying this wasn't complex at all. This wasn't some complex scheme at all. It wasn't smart. It was just poor management, poor record keeping, like a house of cards. SBF didn't really, he just lied to everybody, right? He went in front of Congress and told everyone that, crypto, like, yeah, we have this 24-hour cryptocurrency exchanges. We have this 24-hour risk management system that's always running. Turns out none of that was true, right? He just lied to everybody in their face. And that's why I'm not mad for people supporting FTX, because this guy is fucking crazy. He's like delusional. Like if you hear him speak and contrast to what they found about him, you're like, dude, this guy is just shady. Through and through, just shady. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens going forward. But he was denied bail yesterday, which I'm not surprised. But let's watch this quick little clip because I think it's very, very interesting.
Weeks of scrutiny, a former crypto founder will face justice after prosecutors say he defrauded investors out of millions of dollars. Sam Bankman-Fried led the now-defunct FTX cryptocurrency exchange. It attracted celebrities and business titans alike, even some members of Congress. Now the company's facing fraud charges and bankruptcy. Federal prosecutors charged Bankman-Fried after his arrest in the Bahamas yesterday, just before a congressional hearing on the company's practices. Tom Dempsey breaks it all down for us this morning. Tom, it's easier to count the agencies that might not be looking into Sam Bankman-Fried than to count the ones that are, because, man, everybody wants a piece of this guy.
Yeah, that's right, Mitch. Some prosecutors are even saying this is the biggest fraud investigation in the history of the country. And later today, there's going to be yet another hearing.
Isn't that crazy? What a weird, twisted feather in the cap of Sam Bankman-Fried that this could be the biggest fraud case ever. What a weird accomplishment, right? Now, if you're looking for status, right? If you're looking for fame, even if it's infamy, well, I think you got it if you're SBF, right? Jeez.
hearing happening inside the Capitol dealing with the collapse of FTX. And as Samuel Bankman-Fried faces this massive fraud investigation, there's some big questions being asked this morning over his parents and their connections to the company. We want to share with our viewers sort of what we've been able to gather about Samuel Bankman-Fried, his mother and father. We know his father, Joseph Bankman, works as a tax law professor at Stanford. A family spokesman says Bankman also worked for FTX for almost a year, helping with charitable operations and recruiting lawyers in the company's early days. He allegedly traveled frequently to the Bahamas, where the company was based. And last year, he advised his son during meetings on Capitol Hill as he got set to testify in front of a congressional committee. Barbara Fried, his mother, retired from teaching at Stanford and headed a political advocacy network called Mind the Gap, which supported Democratic campaigns and causes. The Times reports that her son was among the donors for the network. She later resigned from that position, though. Bankman-Fried has said his parents made no vital decisions inside FTX, and no evidence has emerged tying his mom and dad to any criminal activity. During testimony at the Capitol on Tuesday, the current CEO of FTX said the organization of the company, can make the investigation tough.
We're dealing with literally a sort of a paperless bankruptcy in terms of how they created this company.
Jeez.
It makes it very difficult to trace and track assets, and particularly, as I've said, in the crypto world. It's really unprecedented in terms of the lack of documentation.
Now, I take that in two ways. Like, one, they were just super disorganized, right? It seems like there was no real like record keeping. They use QuickBooks, all kinds of crazy stuff. And yeah, when you're tracking money and funds and those sorts of things and cold wallets, it's going to be hard to find those sorts of things because that's what crypto was created for, right? Anonymity. Very, very interesting, right? Let's finish this news article, then we'll talk about it a little more.
Now, two very important things to note, Mitch. No official evidence has tied the parents to any criminal activity as of yet, and they have not been charged with anything in this investigation. In fact, friends who spoke to the Times said they don't believe that either of them could do any wrongdoing, take part in any wrongdoing.
Well,
and those are the friends saying that.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what investigators can figure out, Mitch.
So we hear they were in the Bahamas when this arrest took place. Do we know where they are now?
Yeah, they were allegedly in the courtroom, during this hearing that Samuel Bankman-Fried, took part in yesterday, believing they're still in the Bahamas right now. Bankman-Fried still remains behind bars at this hour, tied to this massive fraud investigation. And then the question is when he might be extradited over here to the United States to face even more questions and more trials ahead, Mitch.
All right, that's Tom Dempsey live. And
now that's pretty interesting because his parents are with him. So I wonder, and they're legal, they understand the law, right? So I wonder what his parents are advising him to do. Are they saying, hey, stay out here, tough it out in the Bahamian, is it Bahamian or Bahamian jail? Bahamas? I'm gonna call you guys Bahamas, but Bahamian jail, right? Until like the smoke, it's all this blows over, maybe like the media forgets about it, or maybe just get back to the United States and just handle it head on and get it over with. I don't know. It might take a while. And yeah, right now they're speaking to Congress about or the Senate. There's a Senate hearing, I guess, but we're not gonna watch that here. I mean, it's a live stream already. Everyone and their mom's live streaming it. We'll hear it after the fact. They're really long and sometimes they're entertaining, but we're gonna cover the current news here. But yeah, there's definitely, Chrissy makes a point. There's definitely wallets out there with FTX money. That's the beauty of cryptocurrency. Like for today, for example, if I have my cold storage wallet and I, go to jail for some reason, or any of you guys have to leave or something like that, and we have our seed phrases with people we trust or in a place we trust, I mean, you can just come back to it later, right? You can come back to it later and get your money. And the government can't really track it because you never put your name in it. There's no information tied to you. It's just there, right? Especially if you're smart with using a VPN and those sorts of things. There's a way to keep your money away from the government. Now, when it comes to tax laws, don't break any tax laws. Make sure you report everything accurately, right? Like if you make a significant amount of gains in a wallet and you cash out or something like that, you got to report that accurately, right? So the onus is on you. And there's good apps for that, like Coin Tracker and those sorts of things. But yeah, I mean, if SBF wanted to, I mean, he's not stupid. I'm sure there's money in other places. Like, for example, we know that There were things created in FTX's code where it allowed Alameda Research to do certain things that a typical trader couldn't do on their exchange. Very, very interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if there was that backdoor, that FTX hack that happened that SBF was responsible for. Probably was the case, I mean, who knows? Who knows? But it's a very interesting situation. And, of course, he was denied bail because he's a flight risk, right? He's a flight risk. He will probably, probably not. I mean, who knows, right? Where would he run to? I mean, but they probably see him as a flight risk because he has so much power and influence and money, and they don't want him to go anywhere. So they're not going to give him, they're not going to let him have bail. And here's the thing. If they give this man bail, people will be outraged, right? Absolutely outraged. People want justice right now, and then when the narrative, and what I like seeing right now, the narrative is that, think about the customers, because we watched a video by another YouTube influencer named Tech Lead and said that, oh, well, complaining about money is like low hanging fruit. And it's like it's not classy, or that's the way he made it seem, like, oh, people make mistakes, give him a chance to, redeem himself. But it's like, what about the people who have their life savings stuck into the FTX exchange because this asshole was mismanaging their funds? What about those people? It's not about him getting redemption and messing up in his business. It's about the people he wrecked and the lives he destroyed, right? Hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars from individuals stuck forever. And depending on how the bankruptcy goes and how this case goes and how much money they're able to get back, a lot of those people aren't going to get their money back. Now, when it comes to these sorts of situations where they have to recover the money, dirty money is going to be recovered, but how much? And when they go after that money, is it even like worth it to go after people? Is it worth it to go through all the legal trouble you have to recoup some of that money? I don't know. I want to know. What's up, Legal Alien? How you doing? I want to know which campaigns he donated to, or which politicians he donated to. I want to know that. Who? Everyone. I don't care what side they're on. I want to know who. How much? Was it legit? I want to know. I want to know everything. So hopefully they do us a solid and give us justice, because no one trusts the government to do this right. No one trusts the government, and you shouldn't, right? I mean, it's obvious that there's rules for thee and not for me. Like, some asshole can get locked up, for probably doing minor things to avoid taxes, but they're going to let people like this, slide, So we'll see what happens, but we'll see what happens. It's going to be very, very interesting. I do taxes for free, says SBF will definitely get extorted by prison gangs. He's a very easy target. I'm sure, too. He's probably in there like, yeah, I can get you guys money, Yeah, but he's going to be in a prison. DJ says, imagine getting locked up for a couple of years, and when you come out, all your shit coins pumped and you're a millionaire. Dude, imagine like going to jail, like maybe you had Bitcoin or something like that, like 2014 or something like that. You bought a bunch, you get out and it's all there. You're like, oh shit. What's up, Bengal? How you doing, baby? Then there's a presidential pardon. Bro, imagine. Joe Biden makes the worst trade in history for a WNBA basketball star that no one, I mean, it's a political thing, obviously, right? It's a get a reelected thing, right? And then he does this. He pardons fucking SBF. God damn. Well, what are we doing? I wish the news wasn't all about like the other side, because check this out, right? Watch, check this out. Like, I gotta roast Fox News here for a second. Fox News be tripping. Hold on.
They were very disappointed.
Let's watch this.
This is just taking money.
Gotta roast Fox News for a second.
This is just taking money from customers and using it for your own purpose. Not sophisticated at all. Sophisticated perhaps in the way they were able to sort of hide it from people. Frankly, right in front of their eyes. But this isn't sophisticated whatsoever. This is just plain old embezzlement.
Former chairman of Enron, now CEO of FTX, testifying before the House Financial Services Committee yesterday. Ray blaming grossly inexperienced owners for the collapse of FTX, saying that there was near zero corporate infrastructure and record keeping, and the company was uniquely positioned to fail. Joining us right now is Texas Congressman, member of the House Finance Committee, Lance Gooden. Congressman, it's good to see you. Thanks very much for being here. What did you take away from that hearing yesterday?
Is that a fucking lizard on her? Is that a lizard? Is that fashion? Do people think that's cool? That's fucking weird, right?
Well, basically, inexperienced crooks were in charge, as the chairman says. We didn't learn as much as we wanted to because, as you know, the Justice Department arrested Mr. Bankman-Fried the night before we were supposed to have a hearing. You've already discussed it this morning, but it is totally asinine, crazy to me that a prosecution team would not want their future defendant to come before our committee and continue spilling his guts to Congress, which he'd done in the media the last few weeks. But what we learned yesterday was that the one thing Democrats did not want to talk about were all the campaign contributions that had come from this embezzled money. And I can't find anyone in this town, even the few Republicans that took money from him, it's mostly Democrats, who want to talk about returning these funds to the bankruptcy court so they can funnel these funds back to those who have suffered from this collapse.
Now, obviously, they're blaming Democrats and stuff like that. I think a better way to phrase this, a better way to phrase this would be, I'd like to know which politicians he donated to. But whether it's Fox News or CNN, they always make it out like that. You know, they always make it the other side of the political party's fault. I think they should just have a big fight. You know, they should just roll up to each other with suits on and just throw down. You know, and the winner wins. I want to see Don Lemon get beat up. You know, just kidding. I don't want to see that. Maybe just slapped. But yeah, I mean, you know, I think a better way to phrase that would be like, yeah, I want to see who he donated to. But look, on paper, he donated to a lot of Democrats, right? We know 37 million. And he said that I guess he did something like in the shadow. I don't know what they called it, but he donated a lot of money to people that wasn't reported. So, and look, like I said before, I don't think that him testifying right in front of our government, I don't think that would make difference. I think he would have lied anyways because he's a liar, right? He's a liar. He would have lied anyways. So very interesting to see if his parents can get him out of this. But we'll move on to the next story. SBF saga continues. And let's talk about this. Big A Armory sent me this, but I did see it a little bit earlier this morning. So this is a precedent. So 8 social media influencers charged by the SEC for $100 million stock manipulation scheme. Now let's read this and let me tell and ask yourself, does this sound familiar? The Securities and Exchange Commission of the United States filed a lawsuit against 8 social media influencers for a $100 million stock manipulation scheme. The individuals include co-founder podcasters and YouTubers. The SEC filed the lawsuit with the Southern District of Texas U.S. District Court. As per the latest details from a press release by the SEC, the 8 social media influencers have been charged for a stock manipulation scheme. These individuals were using social media platforms, including Twitter and Discord, to manipulate the exchange traded stocks. So, in layman's terms, let's read this. SEC claims influencers promoted themselves as successful traders. SEC claims influencers promoted themselves as successful traders. Now, one thing we always preach, and we kind of are on our high horse in this channel, is that maybe we're not on our high horse. We don't pretend to be fucking experts because we're not. We don't know, right? Interest rate hikes have not been announced yet, but we're betting on 50 basis points. That's expected. Anyways, we're not some expert traders, right? We're just not. We're DCA people. I think TA is kind of stupid sometimes. Even the best traders, traders are like not accurate all the time. They're like, what is it? 70 to 80% of the time they're accurate. Okay. So this is funny because we see this, especially after last year, right? Especially after last year, we see people who are like, they act like they're experts at like crypto or just like investing in general. And like, we're not, we're just YouTubers, right? Okay. Let's continue. Because last year, the market was pumping. Everyone looked like a genius, right? I was aping into like Charizard Inu and making money. Charizard Inu. Let's continue. As per the details from the SEC, the accused individuals scammed their following by portraying themselves as successful traders since January 2020. The charges on these influencers are the grounds of purchasing certain stocks and encouraging their followers to buy them. How many people in our group have Patreon groups that are dedicated to pump and dumping shitcoins? How many paid Patreon groups do people have in our space that are dedicated to pumping shitcoins? We said it might be illegal down the road. It looks like it could be, right? Look, if you're an influencer, right, and you're promoting a shitcoin that has maybe 500 holders in it, even 20 people with putting like an ETH in each is going to send that crypto to the moon, right? Is it legal? I don't know. Interesting. The SEC also stated that when the share prices of those particular stocks increase, these influencers dump them without revealing their motive. Interesting. As our complaint states, the defendants used social media to amass a large following of novice investors and then took advantage of their following by repeatedly feeding them a steady diet of misinformation, which resulted in fraudulent profits of approximately $100 million, said Joseph Sansone, chief of the SEC Enforcement Division Market Abuse Unit. The charged individuals on the list include John R. Rasbach, the creator of Sapphire Trading Forum, Edward Constantine, a.k.a. Mr. Zach Morris, oh shit, and co-founder of Atlas Trading, CEO Perry Matlock, YouTubers Thomas Cooperman and Gary Deal, podcasters Mitchell Hennessy and Daniel Knight, and Twitter influencers Stefan Ratvin, a.k.a. Laid Back. The SEC charges seek permanent injunctions, disgorgement, prejudgment interest, and civil penalties against each defendant for their manipulative actions in the $100 million stock scheme. So very, 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 very interesting. Very interesting to see them going after people with these pump and dumps. This is stocks. It's not crypto, but it's interesting to see them going back and getting these people for doing those sorts of things, because we see that all the time. It's like not abnormal, right? Those pump and dump Patreon groups. Very interesting. Very interesting. Obviously, it's a little easier to track them because I assume if they have a brokerage account, like it's their brokerage account with their information on. So you could track all their buys and sells and timing of when they announce buying and selling alerts in their Patreon groups or their Discords or stuff like that. So it's easy to track that. Whereas, DeFi is hard, right? We don't know whose wallets belong to who. We have an idea of whose wallets belong to who, but we can't prove that, right? So interesting to see influencers get popped for that. That's crazy. But I mean, what is the legality of these pump and dump Patreon groups? What's the legal? I mean, that's what I always thought. I'm like, that can't be illegal. I mean, that can't be illegal. It doesn't seem like it. It was a great way to make money. I mean, the route that most people took during the bull run was, let's create a Patreon group. You have a big enough following. I could have did it too for calls, right? For buys and sells, right? And charge people $20. People will gladly pay it, or even $50. People during the bull run, people would have gladly paid $50 a month for anybody's plays who portrayed themselves as a trading or crypto expert, right? Because you guys don't really know who's a real expert. You guys just fucking see people making money on shitcoins, and you think that you follow their plays and you're going to win. Where I can tell you that especially in shitcoins, like no one really knows what's going to happen unless they are part of that project. It's hard to tell like what's going to pump, what's going to dump, or whatever. But a lot of people see them as experts and they'll buy into those groups. So they're starting with stocks, probably coming with crypto next, but it might be a while. So we'll see. It's crazy. That's crazy. We have been in the bear market for almost 2 years. No, we haven't. It's only been 1 year since the all-time high. You're welcome, UK. You're welcome. Yeah, Clear Value Tax is the guy, right? Is the guy. Okay, so that's interesting. We'll see what happens with that. Now, Binance is experiencing a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt right now. A lot of fear, uncertainty, and real quick. Sorry, sidetrack story. Elizabeth Warren, Liz, introduces bill to KYC self-custody Bitcoin wallets, surveil users, and crack down on privacy tools. No, Elizabeth Warren. No, you will not get this passed. Maybe she will, but no. We don't like this. Privacy, come on, man. Power to the people. The fuck, man? Stop messing with us, man. Deal with centralized exchanges. Leave us alone. Okay? Leave us alone. Leave us plebs alone. I mean, this is crazy. KYC, they want to know, no more, they don't want no more anonymity in crypto, which is I get it. If you're the government, you want to make sure everyone pays their fair share of taxes, but Jesse says, what would you rate Caroline Allison on 1 to 10? Like a 2. Well, it depends what you like. I mean, she's like a 4. She's like a 4. Caroline's like a 4. I don't know. I haven't met her in person, so I don't know. I haven't met her, but just, yeah, I'm rating Caroline Allison. She's a 4. But you know what? 4s need love too, and I'll be that guy, okay? 2 4s, that's an 8. 3 4s, 12. I'm no mathematician, and neither is she, obviously, what she says. She's no trading expert, but I mean, I guess she didn't even use math. Barely any math was used, right? God, these guys look like fools right now. It's crazy. It's crazy. They look like actual fools right now. Yeah, Elizabeth Warren hates Elon, but Elizabeth Warren sucks. So didn't she say she was like Native American, but she's like 1/10 Native American? That's like saying you're black, but you have like a black friend. Yeah, I have a black friend in an elementary school. Yeah, so Elizabeth Warren, you suck. But she knows that. All right. So a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt has been surrounding Binance lately. They experienced $1.14 million in net withdrawals yesterday, which is kind of crazy, right? But they said that they experienced more during the Terra Luna collapse, so it's not that big of a deal. Now, the big FUD is, and you guys are not going to like this, Jim Cramer says, do you feel as reassured by Binance as I do? Now, Jim Cramer, notorious for making bad calls. In fact, people go so far to do the exact opposite of what he says, right? I feel like Jim Cramer is like that lovable like dummy you have on your show just to make everybody laugh, I'm sure he's a very smart guy, probably way smarter than me, way more successful. I get it. But he feels like the lovable dummy, right? Doesn't he? Like, oh, it's all right, Jimmy. You still got a job, Jimmy. Come on, Jimmy. Like it's charity work, right? So this is very interesting. Very, 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 very interesting. And then CZ says, oh, Jim, please don't use Binance for the sake of everyone else, half joking. Because we know that, what happens is that, whatever he says, the opposite happens, right? Yes, do me a favor, smash that like button, baby. Thank you so much, Javi. Push us up in the old algorithm. I appreciate y'all. Smash the like button and become a member on the channel. You're entered to win free crypto every Monday, baby. We're just throwing it out like hotcakes. Just throwing free crypto out like hotcakes. $50 every Monday. Could be you. You got to be a member first. Literally, if you pay for the $3 membership, right? And say it lasts you the entire year, what's 12 times 3? 36, right? Yeah, 36. You win one time, the whole year's paid for. And then you can buy a sandwich with the remaining money, right? A $16 sandwich. Did I get that right? No, $14 sandwich. Come on now. But yeah, so very, very interesting. And people are like, oh, God. And then Lady of Crypto, who I really like, because first of all, she's a babe. Lady Crypto, if you're watching this, look at Southern California, one time. Before crypto, after crypto, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. That's jacked up, right? But Lady Crypto, if you're ever in Southern California, baby, I'll come show you a good time. I'll pick you up in the Tezzy from the airport. Show you San Diego, baby. What's up? Anyways, but it's funny, right? Because it's kind of the kiss of death. This is jacked up. Did she post this? That's fucked up. This is fucked up. This is kind of messed up, right? Oh, geez. But she says it's the kiss of death, right? And that's what people think, right? Is that anything Jim Cramer touches, like do the opposite of what that guy does, right? Crazy. What's up, Brad? What's up, Wadi? How you doing, baby? SBF wrecked that. I know. Right? I can't wait to see the public. It won't be public, right? Because these trials are like, there's no cameras in these, right? During these court hearings, but I want to see like the transcripts of what they say back and forth. Maybe we can't even get those. I want to know how they go at each other because they're going to go at each other, right? All fair in love and war, baby. This is war and love, baby. Oh, please give us some freaking tea on SBF. Please give us some of his kinks or something like that. Just please make a post, Caroline, one time, baby girl, one time. All right, so this is the quote from all the Binance FUD this morning. It says Binance will survive any crypto winter, CZ says. CZ got a big ass head, but all that brain in there, right? I'm not sure I feel about the widow's peak. I feel like you should just line it up, I don't know. I'm not a billionaire, so what do I know? The crypto industry has encountered several bear markets throughout its existence. However, following increased adoption and value, this ongoing bear market posed to be more detrimental than the previous ones. This, alongside the increased number of bankruptcies, left the crypto community in grave fear. Binance, however, brought in some respite to the market after CZ assured the platform's survival. So keep in mind that, dude, I think Binance has more. It's like they are bigger than every cryptocurrency exchange out there combined. Like they're a juggernaut, right? In a recent memo addressed to his staff, CZ, the CEO of Binance, pointed out that the exchange is in financially strong position. He further affirmed that the exchange will survive any crypto winter. That's some big D energy. Now, the issue people have with this, which I'm not saying you should have an issue with this, but the issue that people have with these statements is that everyone says this. Yes, everyone says this, right? 194 likes. Let's go, baby. Yes, do me a favor, smash the like button. Everyone has said this before their entity has collapsed. Like Terra Luna was fine, right? They were defending the peg. Like FTX was fine. In fact, Caroline Ellison publicly offered CZ to buy their FTT tokens at $22 a piece, right? Everything is fine until it isn't. And so a lot of people don't really trust these statements, which I get. I understand. It continues. Given the condition of the current market, CZ highlighted how the industry is undergoing a historic moment. And yeah, it's very historic, especially with FTX. Some people are calling this the biggest financial crime ever in the United States. That's crazy. Furthermore, elaborating on the future of the firm, CZ wrote, while we expect the next several months to be bumpy, we will get past this challenging period and will be stronger for having been through it. As seen over the last couple of months, the bear brought down a plethora of well-established projects. Binance, however, managed to thrive through this. At press time, Binance took over as the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange in terms of trading volume, with a daily volume of about $15 billion and 75% surge over the last 24 hours. The exchange was ranked number one. The exchange is always ranked number one. Let me tell you that. So Coinbase stood second with its trading volume at $1 billion, or just under $2 billion. Now, I like Coinbase. And this is just under 16 billion too, right? Barely. But I like Coinbase because it's a U.S. company. They don't have a token, right? They don't have a token, right? They have a stock. And although it's down in the dumps right now, it's like these news headlines always point out, certain projects or certain things like Tesla is really big in the news right now. Coinbase, and it's like the entire market is down. The Federal Reserve is purposely trying to slow the economy down so we can get a hold on inflation. So it's like these different news headlines, but if you think about like the grand scheme of things, it's like, yeah, well, it makes sense that all these things are down. It's not because they're a bad product or service. It's because, a sign of the times. And I just got a Tesla. Dude, I am a believer. I'm a believer, those things are sick. I drive around in that shit just to drive around. I was charging my Tesla last night at one of those power stations, and I'm sitting looking at all the other people. I'm like, yeah, this is we're in a club, Yeah. And it's stupid fast. It's abnormally fast. I've driven fast cars. That's a fast car. It's strange. That thing pulls like nutty, It's insane. I love my damn car. I love it. I'm in love. I'm a believer. I will buy another one, I'm sure. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate that. But, it's like it's a good product. I know they had quality control issues in the past, but I'm like, dude, if I'm as a person who has a Tesla now, I'm like, I get it. And I'm probably going to buy more stock because I know it's worth more than what it's worth now. Right. But the macroeconomic situation's bad, and we're going to see how worse or better it's going to get today. Now, we are getting the interest rate hikes today. We're going to figure out what the interest rate hikes are. But we're expecting 50 basis points, and it seems like we're finally getting a hold on inflation. Hopefully it peaked in June. Let's continue. Okay. It says Coinbase stood. Okay, we already read that. It says, will Coinbase manage to shine through the crypto winter? This is interesting. Similar to CZ, Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, penned down a memo to his staff. While Coinbase shares were at an all-time low, employees expressed fear. However, Armstrong was quite optimistic. In the memo, he says, this is our moment to shine, and it is a validation of the strategy we have pursued over the past 10 years. It was not always easy, as we saw competitors skirt rules and rocket up in value and media attention. Now, I'm not sure if this is a shot at BNB and Binance, but it seems like it is, because think about it. Competitors skirt rules. Now, keep in mind that Coinbase operates out of the United States, right? Unlike Binance. I mean, there's a Binance US, fine, but actual Binance is not a US company, right? And CZ is not a American citizen. Now, does that mean we shouldn't trust them? No, because I understand that other places in the world have better rules and are more friendly to cryptocurrencies, but then other places are used for obviously illegal activity and to evade taxes and those sorts of things. So, I get it why there's a pro and a con where people wouldn't trust companies that operate outside the United States. But Coinbase has always operated in the United States. And it's like, well, yeah, because we're a publicly traded company on the stock exchange and we follow the harshest rules, right? Let's continue. In addition to this, the Coinbase chief revealed that it would serve as a leader to aid the industry in getting back on its feet. It should be noted that this memo was written in light of the large withdrawals that were taking place on Binance, he added. We don't know exactly how this will play out, but let's be prepared to serve our customers during this potentially volatile period, which pretty much means that, hey, what an exchange should be. This is what an exchange should be. And this could be Cap. I don't know. They had a third-party audit. But Chris, the CEO of Crypto.com, got a third-party audit and said, hey, these are our reserves in a nutshell. This is our ratio. A cryptocurrency exchange should be holding your assets 1-to-1. There should be no, oh, we don't have your funds right now because we lent it out. Shout out to Alameda Research and FTX, right? You know what I mean? They should have all your cryptocurrency. They're an exchange. You want crypto, they give you crypto and charge you a fee for it. You want to withdraw your crypto? Well, hey, that's your right to withdraw all of your crypto because it's yours. So here's the crypto we've been holding for you. Here, thank you for the fee. On to the next customer. In the event of a bank run, a lot of these entities fail because they don't have enough crypto to service everyone. It's a Ponzi scheme, right? It's what happened with Bernie Madoff, right? That's how he got exposed. It's what happened with SBF, right? It's what happened with a lot of people and a lot of exchanges. It's like when they ask for their money back, it turns out that the exchanges don't have them. So that's how these exchanges get in trouble. So I got the Model 3, but the Performance Edition. So it was quite a bit more than just a regular Model 3, but it's sick. It's way better. It's faster. The range is longer. It's lower to the ground and looks more, the body's a little more aggressive. Has a little different, like a little body kit on it, I guess. It has different rims and performance brakes. It's nice. It's nice. I love it. I'm in love with that thing. I'm in love with it. I want to drive just to drive around. I went for a drive last night. Just put on some music and just drove around. That's how much I like being in that car. So I'm sure I'll get over it when the new car vibes jump off or go away. But and the reason why I like Coinbase, Crypto.com is cool too. But the reason why I like Coinbase is because it's easy to use. It's so straightforward, and it's a dumb phone, right? It's so straightforward, and it's user friendly. Whereas other exchanges I feel are a little more complicated. But Biz, I have not done the Tesla Light show yet, but I want to. I've seen it on the internet. I've seen that on the internet. So May You Be Well says Coinbase was about to go under until BlackRock stepped in. Now, that was the theory, May You Be Well, but no one knows that for sure. If you guys didn't know, about 6 or so months ago, right, there was a lot of FUD circulating Coinbase because people made this revelation, which we did too around that time because we're learning, right, that when cryptocurrency exchanges are bankrupt, any cryptocurrency exchange is bankrupt, your crypto is not insured, right? Your crypto is not insured. So if something happens, you're stuck like Chuck. After the bankruptcy happens, then you'll get a piece of your whatever is remaining in the exchange. So that's why people were like, oh my God, if they go bankrupt, you're screwed. It's like, yeah, well, that's every exchange, not just Coinbase. And that is, yes, they're a US company and they have to deal with different regulations. Yeah, I get that. But still, cryptocurrency is not insured by the government just yet. Right now, the government wants to make their own versions of cryptocurrency and CBDCs, the whole Fed Now thing, but I don't think it's going to catch on. I don't think it's going to. It's the reason why Bitcoin's so popular, is because it's finite, and it's like the creator's gone. We don't know who the creator is. It's Satoshi Nakamoto, and only a certain amount can be mined. So it's be crazy. I don't like BMWs. I mean, they're okay, but I looked at a bunch of like fancy cars and stuff like this. I like the Tesla, man. It's like it's very techy. It does a lot of cool like little things, Tesla stream picking up Caroline. You know what else is sick about the Tesla? If you have video, yeah, exactly, yeah. So if anybody messes with my car, Tesla starts recording. The cameras are really good. Anthony says, yeah, it's a bit dumbed down, but that's great for the average consumer. Exactly. Coinbase Pro, not bad, though, for real. Both are user-friendly, if I'm honest, in terms of UI. That's what I've heard, Anthony. I like their service, too. Their paid service where there's no transaction fees. Like $30 a month for that, Anthony, is really good. It's really, really good for being able to, buy crypto and swap it and those sorts of things for no fees. Now, like I've always said, I have a video in my description. I don't trust any exchange. I don't anymore. Not your keys, not your crypto. I mean, I'm not sponsored by Ledger, but I wish they would sponsor me, but I made a video about it, right? I have a lot of these, right? You want to keep your money on one of these babies. I mean, a MetaMask wallet is fine. A non-custodial wallet is fine because they're your keys. But at the same time, like, I'd rather have a cold storage wallet because you need this physical device in order to access anything, right? Now, of course, if you lose it, it's not all over. You have to keep your 24-word seed phrase, and you can import it into a new device in the event that you lose this thing. So it's not over if you lose this. Common misconception. People think when you lose a hardware wallet, it's over. It's not the case. You just need to have your 24-word seed phrase. So what I like to do is take your seed phrase and keep it in different spots, whether that's a family member, whether that's whoever, right? Someone you trust, whether that's a safe, a fireproof safe, whatever it is. But you got to make sure that you keep them in a safe place. So if shit hits the fan, you can recover your crypto, right? Raz says, I just wish Coinbase had a way to convert your small balances into something else like Chrome and BNB. Well, crypto.com does. You can. But you'll get charged a fee for it. So you got to pay for that service. Yeah, I mean, thank you so much. Yes, only 73 likes and 195 people watching. Do me a favor, smash the like button, guys. Push us up in the old algorithm. All right, so the Federal Reserve. Let's talk about inflation. Let's talk about those sorts of things. So this is a news article from CNBC. It says the Federal Reserve is about to hike interest rates one last time this year. Here's how it may affect you. Now, for those of you in the chat, let me know. For the people that are not chatting, do me a favor, chat in the chat and let me know. Have you been feeling the effects of inflation? Crypto Realist says Coinbase Pro has been discontinued, has been for a while. Not Coinbase Pro, but whatever service they have that lets you pay $30 a month for free trading. I'm not sure what that is. It used to be called Coinbase Pro. I think it's called Coinbase One. Whatever their paid service is, it's really good. Have you guys been feeling the effects of inflation? Now, fortunately, I've been living in the same place. I live in California, so it's ridiculous for rent. But been living in the same place for a long time, so I haven't had to move or anything like that. But a lot of people, when they're looking for rooms or anything, like I have a friend, she's looking for a studio, and she can't find anything for under $1,500 for a studio, which is one room and a bathroom. It's crazy. $1,500. It's nuts. And then the price of food is absolutely insane. Right? Everything is going up. I mean, aside from a few things, I remember a few CPI reports ago, we saw that strawberries were one of the only things that didn't go up, which is hilarious, right? But the price of food's going up. Now, yeah, we got good CPI data yesterday, right, with 7.1, which is great. It shows that inflation may have peaked over in June, but at the same time, it's still bad, right? It's still, it's still bad, but it's going up at a slower rate. Right now, raising interest rates today is probably going to be 50 basis points. That's what a lot of people are calling for. I think that's going to be good for that's going to be as expected, and the markets may not do much. Now, anything better than that, like 25, which is far fetched, I think would absolutely send the rocket the market and send the markets to the moon. Now, the crazy thing is it's still bad, right? Inflation is still bad. It's just that it's better than expected, right? I mean, but it's funny to see the markets react because it's like, hey, man. So if you're a day trader or you're really staying close to the news and these sorts of things, it seems very, very predictable what the markets are going to do. Of course, it's still risky. What's up, Echoes? How you doing, baby? Echoes from above, absolutely slaying it on his channel. Shout out to you. Shout out to your community, going after some of the financial influencers, the financial influencers. I don't know if you saw this today. Did you see this? Did you see this news? Where apparently 8 people or 8 influencers are getting in trouble for pumping stock groups. That may be a good story for you if you haven't seen it. So yeah, it says 8 social media influencers charged by the SEC for $100 million stock manipulation scheme. So I would check that out. Yeah, but for inflation, so usually what takes 2 years for inflation from peak to get back to normal, right? So we're thinking that maybe it's going to be good in June 2024. Well, what aligns with that perfectly is the Bitcoin halving, right? So maybe as we get inflation under control and we have the halving, we can expect the cryptocurrency markets to absolutely send. So the timing kind of works. But the thing is, it's like, we're going to have to thug it out for the next year or so. It's the hard times aren't over. And I do think there's going to be another catastrophic event in crypto. I don't know what it is. It's going to be the collapse of something. We don't know what it is. The fallout's still happening. So it'll be crazy. Yeah, well, the thing about these 8 social media influencers, and I'm reading the comments, is it's like, dude, we see these pump and dump groups in crypto all the time. And what's heinous about these, right? Because a lot of these are like penny stocks and shit like that, right? Where if you have a big enough group get into these projects, whether it's a crypto or a stock, it's gonna pump, right? The market cap's low, the holders are low, it's going to pump, especially if you have thousands of members in there. And everyone looked like a genius last year because, like I said, I was buying fucking Charizard Inu and Mewtwo Inu and random, shit coins and making a killing. Does that make me an expert? No. You know what I mean? But a lot of people rode with it, especially in the cryptocurrency space, and have Patreon groups where they charge people $20, $50 a month for their calls, right? Where they just pump shit and dump it, And so people in the traditional stock world are getting caught for that. I wonder if it's going to leak over to the cryptocurrency world. Like I said, it might be tough because in this world, you have brokerage accounts where your social security, your bank information, everything's tied to your name, right? You have to KYC yourself. But in DeFi, no one knows which wallets are yours, so it's going to be hard to prove that the influencer dumped on the community because that's what they're talking about too. Apparently, these influencers would dump on their community, so it's pretty crazy. Yeah, Dick Butt Inu. Yeah, that's an old one, right? Yeah, so that's going to be interesting. Let's see what happens. Okay, you covered it. The Zach Morris clown last night on live stream. I remember him pumping a bunch of penny stocks in 2021. Those guys are scumbags. Yeah, I mean, obviously, right? Obviously. Kevin O'Leary testifying now and saying Binance to intentionally put FTX out of business. Kevin O'Leary, his credibility is gone forever. So when Kevin O'Leary says I would invest in SBF again, which I understand is like, he's a venture capitalist, right? He's a guy who likes to make risky investments in people and believe in people who are going to give him a return. So if you're thinking from Kevin Leary's mind, you're saying, yeah, I would invest in SBF again because I know he could make me money. And when I heard that, I didn't think too much of it because I'm like, okay, of course he thinks that way because he wants to make money. But he's been on this weird campaign tour of defending him everywhere. He's losing all credibility, dude. What happened to this cutthroat Shark Tank guy? Now he's a little weenie. You know what I mean? Crazy. Well, Binance. Yeah. So what happened was with Binance is, Alameda Research's balance sheet was leaked. And when you have someone like CZ saying, oh, we're selling all our FTX tokens, people are going to panic sell because they're the biggest exchange. And I think it was like 500 million they held, something crazy like that. People are gonna sell. So he got the ball rolling, but he's not the one who was misappropriating funds, right? Or misusing funds and doing shady shit behind people's backs. So he's not the one who did that. So yeah, exactly. O'Leary got 15 million from them, but it's like, okay, if you got your 15 million, did you have it in FTX? I mean, why are you still defending him? Take your $15 million, get the fuck out of there. Say, hey, I messed up. I'm sorry, I messed up. I was wrong. Move on. I should have promoted him. Because SBF fooled everybody. And I do think Gary Gensler and people close to him and the ties that he has, they are pissed because they know any connections SBF had is going to get uncovered and they're going to be in trouble too. And they probably didn't know SBF was doing shady shit. They were like, oh, this guy is a crypto billionaire. He made an exchange and he wants to donate it to us and all this shit. So I think he just fooled everybody, right? I think he fooled everybody. What's up, Racket Club? How you doing, baby? Joshua says, just be positive energy and everyone pray for cryptocurrency to go up and the DXY to go down. Yeah, so the DXY is the pretty much a chart that measures the strength of the dollar. And so all currencies go down when the dollar goes up, right? Usually other currencies, stock market and stuff like that, they go down when the DXY goes up. I guess that's good for our country because the dollar is stronger, but it's bad for us, right? But I don't think we're going to have a next good. I think the next year is going to be pretty bad, right? It's not going to be we're not going to have I don't think we're going to be dumping more. I don't think there's going to be any more catastrophic events next year, probably, right? But we're not going to see all-time highs next year. It doesn't make any sense. It wouldn't make any sense for us to see any crypto all-time highs. Johnny Blaze, you're wild, bro. Yeah, so I mean, we'll see what happens with this. It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. And look, at the conspiracy theory is that this is a arrest video. The conspiracy theory is that the reason why he was arrested yesterday is so he wouldn't testify today. But look, I don't think he would have a problem lying under oath. I don't. Many people lie under oath, right? If being under oath was some magically magical thing that stopped people from lying, well, then our justice system would be batting 1,000, right? But they're not. People lie. People lie all the time. So. Chrissy says, Senate hearing is interesting. A lot of them are against crypto. Some want crypto to be classified as securities and have the S. Yeah, here's the thing about that, Chrissy. I get it. I understand why people say that Ethereum's a security. I get it. I get it that people understand. People say that when people say like XRP is a security, because to me, really, I get it that these cryptocurrencies have a function, but they're like shares in a company. When I first came into crypto, I'm like, oh yeah, they're like shares in a company, right? Except for Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's just a store of value. Because Bitcoin's just used as a store of value. It's a commodity, right? But Ethereum's not. It's the blockchain that everyone builds off of. ERC20 tokens, right? So it has a ton of utility. And Crypto.com, for example, or Binance, they have tokens. And coins now because they have their own chains, right? But Binance is what? A cryptocurrency exchange. That's a use case. It has its own blockchain. They own Trust Wallet and Coin Market Cap, and it's like I feel like they're shares in a company, right? So I think it makes sense. It makes sense. You guys want to watch it? Let's watch it. We'll see what's going on. I suppose the main news is out, but let's watch the hearing right now. Let's check that out. I want to get into it.
Future in this idea of
God,
programmable
I'm already fucking bored.
money. And then secondly, I think you're familiar with the legislative framework that I've laid out for stablecoins. I think the heart of that is the requirement that we have 100% cash and cash equivalents as a backing for a stablecoin and oversight by the OCC, but not the Fed. And I wonder if you would comment also on whether you think that is the right approach to regulating stablecoins.
Of course. So I do believe that stablecoins have a lot of promise, not only in terms of the programmable money concept that you state, but also in terms of just being a faster and more stable way to work within a digital ecosystem rather than relying on kind of our current creaky payment rails. Stablecoins can offer a lot of alternatives in that space where we have truly digital money. I am familiar with your legislation, and I think that it addresses what is one of the, I think, most obvious risks in the stablecoin space, which is the concern that stablecoin issuers do not have stable coins because the reserves that they have behind them might not be what they say they are. I think that there are a number of ways that you can go about creating a regulatory regime to take account of that risk. I myself have proposed kind of a a disclosure-based framework that could be put into place by something like the SEC. In fact, it's very similar to the disclosure framework that you have proposed with the OCC. I do think it's important to separate that type of regulatory function from the federal monetary regulator, so that the Federal Reserve is not the one charged with handling regulation of kind of a money substitute here. There's a lot of conflicts of interest that can exist in that space, and I think it's wise to keep stablecoin regulation, which is something that I think is kind of low-hanging fruit at this point. There's obvious risks, and I think there are pretty obvious ways to deal with those risks in pretty simple fashion.
This is fucking boring. Is this you guys? Are you guys bored? I'm bored. You guys think this is entertaining to you? I know this is pretty important, and we'll get a recap later. But
we should keep that type of regulation separate and apart from monetary regulation.
Thank you.
Thank you. And my question, in fact, thank you for that answer. Professor Allen, my question is in part follow up with your answer to Senator Sinema about the difficulty of regulating crypto. Crypto firms have called for regulatory clarity, is a term that some of them use. Do you think crypto platforms could mostly comply with actual regulations?
No, I don't. And I think when they're calling for regulatory clarity, what they're asking for is bespoke regulation that they can comply with.
damn.
Okay, good answer. Thank you.
Here at
Thanks to
Courtesy-
the witnesses for your testimony. The events of this week should be a warning to others about accountability, not just in crypto. How we discuss crypto from this point forward will define crypto markets for the future. For senators who wish to submit questions, for the record, those questions are due Wednesday, December 21st.
She does make a good point about stable coins. This is something we've been bitching about for a while, right? We've been talking about for a while is we got to make sure that stable coins, there's some sort of stability to them, right? Stable coins got to be regulated. No more algorithmic stable coins. And you can, whatever your theory is on algorithmic stable coins, I get it, fine. But algorithmic stable coins work until they don't, right? They work until they don't. And a lot of people are blaming SBF and FTX and Alameda Research for being the cause of the collapse of Terra Luna. Maybe they caused it. Maybe they caused it, shorting them, buying a bunch of whatever, right? UST. Maybe. But if an algorithmic, apparently this might have been on accident, but if an algorithmic stablecoin can be manipulated like that, whether it's a just cause or whatever the case may be, it's too risky. It's not smart. Right. So no more algorithmic stablecoins. You need stablecoins backed by assets. Now, what's the issue? Well, having a trusted third party source go in there and audit these stablecoin entities, right? Like Tether. Tether's been in hot water for a long time for not being as transparent as they should be. Now they have $65 billion market cap, which means they should be backed by that much in assets, right? They should be, you know what I mean? Their liquidity should be that much. They should be backed just in case people want to pull out all their money at once for some reason, because it's a stable coin. It's supposed to be a safe place to park your money. It should be available for people to pull out, right? And, they could get exploited. I mean, people think this is crazy, but if you go like to the top cryptocurrency exchanges, let me see, top crypto exchanges, you can see that CZ did this cool little thing where you can look at assets, right? And you can see that like Binance, when you look at their assets, they have a ton of USDT, right? And we watched a video on this, but yeah, man, if you're CZ and you're a savvy businessman and you want to make BUSD be the top stable coin, why not just get rid of all your USDT? I mean, it's not that easy, obviously, but I mean, something. People don't like this sort of regulation. I welcome it because we're seeing what happens to people when they trust cryptocurrency. Like no one's going to want to park their damn money in a stable coin, a lot of money, and risk it being wrecked, right? So the issue is, having somebody in there who's not associated with crypto. I don't care. No crypto people in there. A third-party auditing system with people who understand the blockchain, though, who can verify that these stable coins, whatever their assets are, whether it's real things or whether it's like paper, whether it's actual cash or cash equivalents, whatever it is, right? Bonds, I don't know, whatever it is, they need to go in there and audit and make sure they're telling the truth so we have some trust and transparency in this space. Now, if you guys didn't know, about a week ago, Coinbase put out some article encouraging people to swap their USDT for USDC. Now, we know that USDC is backed by some pretty big backers, right? Not very decentralized, but you feel safe with those backers, right? So I like USDC. I only use USDC. I've been paid in Tether and those sorts of things. Fine, I get it, but I'm a USDC guy. You know, I keep my money there. I'm not risking Tether. You know, maybe it's safe, maybe it's not. I don't want to spread FUD, but we got to talk about the big ass white elephant in the room, and it's everyone's distrust for stablecoins. More specifically, everyone's distrust for Tether. I remember CoffeeZilla came out with a video like a year ago because the SEC went in on Tether because apparently like they were only able to cover 65% of what they said they had in reserves. That's crazy, right? It's crazy. Nutty. So I don't know. And, you know, maybe CZ being a savvy businessman, maybe he wants to make BUSD be the next big stable coin, right? I don't know. I'm not here for it. You know, I'm not here for any exchanges. I'm not keeping my money on exchanges. This is how I'm using cryptocurrency exchanges to buy the crypto I want and then immediately send it to a cold storage wallet. That's how I'm using cryptocurrency exchanges going forward, right? That's how I use them. If I want to cash out some money, fine. I take the extra step to send money from a wallet to the exchange and then cash it out immediately. Fine. That's what I'm doing. So, I mean, to each their own, but you know what I mean? Let's see. What did Josh say? Are you stocking up on Dogelon, Mars, and Elon and Luna Classic, Roddy? Absolutely not. Dogelon Mars might be a good play because it's a meme coin that pumps. So Luna Classic is not a good project, guys. It might pump in the future, but if you're watching all those influencers talk about Luna Classic, they're just there for the community and they're there for the likes and the views and stuff like that, which is fine, whatever. But if you're thinking it's a real good investment, it's not. It's really risky, right? It's really risky. It's a true degenerate play. It's really risky. Like you see all they don't know. Go back and look at the catalog of their videos and watch the shit they were talking about a month before Terra Luna collapsed. Look at that stuff, right? It was probably AMC, GME, or some other shitcoin. They're just moving on to the next trend. Fine, do your thing. I get it. Great, fine. But just as an investor, you have to like sit back and understand that that's probably not the best play because all the circumstances around it, all the things around it, right? Do Kwon is no saint. People are crazy. Jordan Kamaran said he wants to invite you and Tyler. I don't know who that is. Dollar isn't backed by gold, so auditing, yeah, exactly. The dollar is backed by, hey, yeah, dollar's worth that, you know. I wish it was backed by something, but that's the issue with the government. It's like if they have the power to print more money, they probably will, you know. Chrissy says the government needs to compile the big four public accounting firm to audit crypto. I don't trust some of the no-name auditors being exactly 100%. And it needs to be monthly or quarterly, but at least quarterly, right? It can't be once a year. It can't be twice a year. It has to be often. I like once a month. I know it's kind of a lot, but it's worth it. Yeah, Dogelon Mars. I mean, it's good. There's some meme coins out there. Look at I made a video yesterday, guys, called like the truth about like Saitama, Lily Finance, and then Terrarium, and a bunch of shit coins in our space. The truth is, right? The real truth of everything is that they're fun, but use them what they should be used for. They're here for a good time, not a long time, right? Just understand how to use them. It's fun. It's gambling. Fine. Do your thing. I am mad at you. 25 basis points? You think? I mean, we are really. I mean, we have inflation has been dumping, right? It's been getting better, but I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I don't know about 25 basis points. That seems kind of far fetched to me, to be honest. Yeah, that's the thing about the CBDCs and stuff like that. Like we talked about like central bank digital currencies, which is like the big banks version of cryptocurrencies. And we already see that some countries got started already, right? Like CBDCs. Someone said that they launched Brazil to launch one. Bank of England wants to start a prototype. Like everyone's doing it. Everyone's doing CBDCs. And I don't like CBDCs. I think they're worse than actual, the currency we have now, because if look, I get it. Like if you're not doing anything illegal, like, well, then I suppose you have nothing to worry about. But for some reason, the government wants to freeze all your funds. Well, then it goes all your money. Like I said last night, debit and stuff like that is pretty much, digital currency. Although it's supposed to be backed by dollars, it's kind of like digital currency. I mean, how many people actually keep cash anymore? Right? How many of you people keep cash? Nobody keeps cash. I mean, I have cash, but nobody keeps cash, right? Crazy. And I don't like the government being able to have the opportunity to just freeze all your funds at once if they don't like you or something like that. So it's a very interesting situation. When it comes to CBDCs, I get it. It's like I feel like shut up, Jayhawk. I feel like the government is like, crypto's catching on. Let's make our own. Thank you so much. Yeah, do me a favor, smash the like button. I think we're at 101 likes. We can get to 150 likes. Let's go. Smash the like button, guys. Let's go, baby. Smash that like button. We can get 50 likes in here. It's like the government, stablecoins are a superior way of sending money. We talk about this, right? Stablecoins are the superior way of sending money because you could send large amounts of money with no intermediary and nothing. Like if I wanted to send $100,000 in a stablecoin right now, I could. Crazy. DJ says, I have $25 in cash only because people tip me. Well, here's the thing. If you have a Postmates or a DoorDash driver or a deliver person, pay them in cash. Tip them in cash if you can. So the government can't grab it. Will the government do a proof of reserves? No. Come on now. You guys, I think there's levels to it, right? We can't. I know people say crypto's not real. People say, crypto is not safe. And, it's like, and then people say, well, the government's, they're printing money. They just make money out of it. They just mint new tokens, mint new dollars when they want to. It's true, but that's our government, right? I mean, cash is king until it's not king, right? What was I looking up yesterday? My Google search is going to be crazy. Let's see. What was it? It was $1,000 worth in 1980. Okay, so, oh my God. So, okay. So if you, wait, what? Oh, yes. Okay. So, if you would have had $1,000, so $1,000 in the 80s is equivalent to $3,000. What would be so $3,000? If you saved up $3,000 in the 80s, it'd be worth $1,000 today. So inflation is just like it wrecks everything. That's why investing is like the most powerful wealth building tool people say, right? I mean, it is. Obviously, investing is, especially if you invested in a shitcoin. A lot of people made a ton of money, right? So I mean, you can keep money there, but not too long. I suppose a moon bag is nice. Right? The moon bag is nice, or an emergency fund to have you like a little some cash on the side, right? Just in case you need some kind of emergency. I get it. Or if you're trying to flee the country or something like that, The cash is nice, but over time, obviously, with inflation, it's kind of crazy. Shut up, Jayhawk. Sebastian says, that's why I keep a fiat type of currency so we have backup and control. I feel like fiat and crypto. You guys know what I want to get into? Like gold and silver. That'd be nice. Jayhawk says, all right, guys. And with that, I'm out of here. No, I'm not out of here yet. We're hanging out for a little bit longer. Chrissy says, government have taxes and workforce to back up printing. Crypto is just a pyramid scheme where a few get rich, leaving the poor chasing and keep providing liquidity. For most product, yes. Did you see a crow burn? I didn't know the crow was doing a burn. Guys, burns are such a fucking gimmick in cryptocurrency. They're necessary because the supply is too damn high, but an argument would be like MetaMonkey AI, right? Not sponsored by them. They need to sponsor your boy. But it's like, why not start off with a smaller supply? Like, why not do burns? It's like burns only work if there's hype in the token, because obviously it's supply and demand, right? If you have 1 million tokens and the hype dies down and you say, we're going to burn 30% of the supply, so you have 700,000 tokens left, it's like, well, people still need to buy them. There still needs to be hope, right? So Buybacks and burns, I think, are just such a gimmick, but people do them all the time. Tempest says, I've been keeping a lot of junk silver. Okay, I heard about that. Silver. I think silver is going to be like the move. Clear value tax said it might be the move because going into the future, like electric cars and stuff like that, like a lot of and solar panel and solar shit, I guess, like a lot of silver is used in that. Something like that. Something like that. Brad says, Rodney, I can teach you how to pull gold from the ground. Nothing more rewarding, but only when you're finding it. How the hell? Where? Where are you finding gold? Joshua says, I hate cash because of the hidden messages and the notes, in my opinion, when you fold it a certain way. We do have some, I think that other countries do have prettier currency than us, right? Our $100 bills look nice, though, but. Sebastian says, everyone should invest in silver as well as gold, as well as crypto. Have backups of value. Those in higher positions are corruptible. Yes, Rodney. Buy some metals. I have some gram bars and silver. Maybe I got to buy some gold bars, right? Buy some gold bars. DJ says, when Henry Ford rolled his first cars off his assembly line, they cost less than $400. That was little of 100 years ago. Now a brand new car costs at least 20x. Well, how much was $400 worth in, what is it? 19, we'll say 19. When was the first car invented? What's the first car invented? Oh, Benz, the first automobile in 1885. What? Let me see. Henry Ford. Okay. We'll say 1908. What is that? Value of amount. Let's see. $400 to 400. 12 grand. Okay, so yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, so even with the adjusted for inflation, yeah, $12,000 for a brand new car is yeah, right. Yeah, right. Okay. Oh, Henry Ford was the first to mass produce. Got it. I guess a German guy, dude. If it wasn't for the whole crazy World War II shit, Germany would be up there, right? Those motherfuckers are smart. I think they created the first jet, first car. Mad scientists, like terrible people, what they did in World War II. But that's some smart people. You know what's crazy about that? A lot of the U.S. government let some of their scientists get a pass if they agree to work for the U.S. government. Crazy. But yeah, this is crazy. Yeah, you cannot get a car for 12 grand today unless it's like a used car, right? No way. And Clear Value Tax was saying, and other people were saying that, if inflation stays the same right here in 10 years, like the average car is going to be like $100,000 for like an average car, which is nutty, right? That's crazy. Rodney went camping with Brad and never was heard from again. Brad is actually, the Sandstorm's still making content, so he's still making content. Tempest says, I have 5K at the moment in junk silver coins. Nice, bro. Yeah, let me know, Brad. I'm down, dude. I want to go camping. I love camping, bro. I need to go camping again. I thought about going camping by myself. What do you guys think about that? There's actually service at a campground that I go to as well. So we could just do like a live stream from a tent. Would you guys be down with that? Like a live stream from a tent? That'd be sick, right? Little campfire going. German scientists are responsible for our modern superiority. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, a lot of Germans were recruited into the U.S. and given a pass, and given us a pass for giving them a pass for all the crazy war crimes. Chrissy said, y'all keep bringing up the car costs $400 and now costs $49K. People forget that wages have also increased and stock market has to grow. We need a little inflation for economy to run. Yeah, the average, healthy inflation every year? What is it? 2%? 2% is healthy. So 2% inflation is healthy. Yeah, they were given amnesty to work there. Yeah. Big A, I always got one. I always got one, bro. I always got one on me. Ask the boys. The boys know. The boys know about your boy, okay? The boys know about your boy. Nuclear weapons were one of them. I'm sure. I know. You know. I'm sure. Oh, yeah. That was a good stretch. Man, I had some bomb-ass Kodiak protein pancakes. Guys, got to come to Casa del Rodney, man. I'll hook you up with some good breakfast, lunch and dinner, man. I cook all my food. All my food. German's back Volt. Where the fuck can I buy gold and silver? I think you can buy online somewhere, right? There's like services you could buy like little pieces of gold and silver. You could buy like gold and silver ETFs and stuff like that. Like, if you're using Robinhood or something like that, or like a brokerage account. If you don't want to keep the physical gold or silver, but probably having the physical gold and silver is better. But it's just like, obviously there's a limit to how much gold and silver you can have in your house unless like you're guarding it or you have a nice place to put it, right? And then you got to move it around and shit in the case of emergency. So sound like a conspiracy, Rodney. He harbored mad German scientists. Imagine. What's up, Justin? How you doing, baby? Operation Paperclip. Is that what it was called? Damn, this is crazy. $400. Golly. Someone told me long ago. What was the average wage? Average wage in... Someone told 22 cents per hour. God damn. Damn, 22 cents per hour. Okay, but still, if you were in if you were to minimum wage, what's minimum wage? It's not $7. Say what's minimum wage average? Average, bitch. What's average? US. Oh, what? Hold on. The federal minimum wage. Wait, what is this? Oh, I think Chris E was right on the money. All right, Chris E, you're right on the money, bro. It's actually perfect. So we see that the minimum wage is exactly on par. Average laws around average wage, which is kind of $7. Is that one? What is the average minimum wage in the U.S.? The federal minimum wage is covered in all the employees, but many also states minimum wage laws. Okay, so California's we break bread over here, but it's expensive. Yeah. Wow. So it's actually on par. The issue is, right? The issue is that the issue is that the car, you're not finding a car that's $12,000 brand new. You're just not. You're just not doing that. You're not finding a car brand new for $12,000. You're not nowhere, So it looks like that's actually kind of weird, right? That's like perfect. So perfect. So I'm sure they use these kind of freaking equations and stuff to do it anyway. So crazy. Key is to live in a shitty place stacked with gold bars. Ain't nobody robbing your shitty house. No, if you live in a bad neighborhood, Hey, in the 90s, I was making $4.75 an hour. It's crazy. Crypto Talk says, imagine it working hard, days of work, and bringing home $2. Yeah, but I mean, a quarter back then? Woo! That's an hour of work, baby. Let's go. That's an hour. That's a whole hour of work. Yeah, FOMC meetings today should be about an hour and a half or so. I mean, I don't think today is like a big wild card. I think today's kind of a layup, right? I want to know, have you ever seen the rain? I want to know, have you ever seen the rain? Yeah, this is pretty interesting, right? Right on par. So nice. $7.25 an hour ain't shit though, man. California breaks bread, but it's expensive to live here, so it makes sense, right? It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. I don't know if you guys noticed, but if you have the Crypto.com app, they put this cool little hat on their app, which is a cool little update, right? I haven't seen this little thing with any of my other apps, but Crypto.com has it, so pretty cool. DJ said, yeah, the federal minimum wage is ridiculous. The federal is the minimum everybody has to pay per hour, but each state has their own minimum wage. Yeah. California is pretty nice. You know, paying $15 for your first job an hour is pretty nice, especially if you have like I know people want, or excuse me, if you have no bills, like if you're a kid, you live at home, that's pretty good money. You're going to cover the FOMC meeting today? No, probably in a recap video later. Maybe I'll do a stream tonight. What's tonight? Wednesday. I may be able to do a stream tonight. I have sparring tonight, so I'll be back home around 7 p.m.-ish, maybe. Tonight's fight night. Pow, pow, pow. We love sparring nights, baby. Pow, pow, pow. Business, man. I remember high school summer jobs, working 2 weeks for like $375. Yeah, it's a struggle bus, man. It's a struggle bus. Yeah, I don't think the FOMC meeting, we're going to get a lot of information from it. I mean, we'll see what happens, how the markets react, but I think we know what's going to happen, right? I think it's pretty predictable now. But who knows? Who knows? You know, I don't know. Yeah, Chrissy says 50 basis points coming. Inflation is still high. VTI be diverting now and kicking the can. I think it's can down the road to next year. We need to get this inflation in check before summer 2023 so that we can resume our lives. Yeah, we'll see what happens, right? At least a lot of banks are predicting, like I saw, I think JP Morgan? One of the banks predicted like 4.75 like interest rates or CPI in March, which would be a huge improvement from now. If we can go from 7 to 4 in the next 3 months, that'd be great. That'd be fantastic. And we can keep that going. You know, because maybe that'll mean that we'll get a hold on inflation a little faster, right? Because remember, these interest rates do apply to the national debt too, right? So it's not just like the government can't just keep raising interest rates forever, right? Yeah, I'm pretty decent. Oh, so are you a decent striker? I'm not a bad grappler too, Sebastian. I'm pretty good at defense. So I have a pretty good Darce choke that I get pretty frequently. But I would say I'm like a new blue belt level. I would say a really good white belt or a new blue belt. I would say that's my level. I'm very strong. I got good hips. I think I got good control. But I just never really stayed at one gym enough to get like a better belt because I just don't. I like to strike more than anything. But I can defend the takedown pretty well. I'm good at defending things. I'm pretty strong. I'm good at like not getting submitted, like just like staying there and existing. Like, I can go a long time without getting submitted, just kind of hanging on the ground, you know. But obviously in MMA, you want to stand up, right? You want to defend the takedown and stand up if you're a striker. Joshua says, I used to make $800 a week picking up property management LLC. Now, dude, I'm all in cryptocurrency, folks. Damn, that's actually pretty good. Do you have a guard? My guard's not bad. I know I have a pretty good guard, Sebastian. I could definitely stand up, get back to my feet. But you don't want to be in the guard. I mean, you can be in the guard in MMA, but you just don't want to be there, right? You don't want to be there. You want to get up. You don't want to be on your back. How's the knee feeling? A lot better. For some reason, I can't like run and like stand on it like for like too long of a time, but I could definitely throw kicks. It's kind of crazy. It's weird. You know? You see my cool little video that they edit for me on Instagram? Nobody did. I'll show you guys. Cool. Here's your boy. Let's go. What the fuck? Oh, shit. Do I have to? Someone told me long ago. Oh, I have to. Is this it? Wait, what is this? Wait, hold on. Someone told me long ago. I know. I want to know. Have you ever seen the rain or Lorraine? I want to know. Have you ever seen the rain? Down, down, bow, 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 bow. That song's so good. It's stuck in my head. All right. This is the cool little video my friend made for me. It's pretty sick.
Hey.
Feeling young, but they treat me like the OG.
And they want the tea on me, I swear these bitches nosy. Said he put some money on my head, I guess we gon' see. I won't put no money on this head, Mike is on me. I gotta be single for a while, you can't control me.
One of those traits in a race, they can't hold me.
And I show my face in the case.
Cool little clip my friend made for me. That was cool. I got to hang out with the UFC fighter who's sponsored by Volt2. Wow! Super tired, sloppy right there. But I just, 2-year layoff. I'm just getting back into it. I've been training a lot recently, so I'm going to get back to rare form. I'm going to get better. I'm so motivated to just be in the fucking gym and just train. I'm ready. I love training, man. Yeah, Ian's an actual animal. He's an actual beast. Sebastian says, I have a great half guard. If you're in my half guard, you'll be on the ground for a while. Half guard's where you want to be in MMA. That's where you want to be, right? Half guard's where you want to be in MMA because you can really do some damage, right? You can really do some damage with your free hand. You want to be that or a side control or something like that, or obviously full mount. But you don't want to be in a full guard because, if people are good, I guess they could throw up stuff. But what I've noticed in like UFC and like high level mixed martial arts is that it's hard to submit a person who's decent from your back unless you're really good at jiu-jitsu, and even then it's still hard, especially when you get punched in the face, right? Stephen Huang. All right, y'all, I'm gonna get out of here. What's up, Spencer? Bah, what's up? Just come try me, bro. Bah, I'm 220. Bah, 220. Bah, bah. I need to lose some weight though. I've been gaining quite a bit of weight the last couple months or so. Yeah, I was shreddy chicken in the summer. Look at your boy. Look how shreddy. Look at your boy was. This is what. Where was this? July? I was like 210 right there. Shreddy chicken. Been eating good the last this one got me. I was looking at this one. I was like, dude, I was like fucking oops. This one. Wait, where's the pictures in this? Oh wait, it wasn't this one. Wait, was it this one? Yeah, it was this one. This is, of course, me. This is me and Jake G. Jake, I'm 6'1". Jake Gagan is tall, but look how fucking shreddy I am right there, right? And look at this one. This one got me. I'm like, damn, I was shredded as hell right here. So, I'm like 10 pounds from that, but I just haven't been lifting a ton of weights. I've been like, imagine seeing this guy at a festival. I've been, dude, why are my nipples so big? I've been doing a lot of MMA, so I'm probably gonna lose a little bit of muscle mass, but I'm cool with that. I don't mind losing a little bit of muscle mass. But this is where I spent most of my time training in Portland with these guys. These guys were the shit. And of course, I used to roll a little bit too, Sebastian. I actually won this tournament as a white belt, so nice. I won 2 tournaments as a white belt, actually. You know what I mean? So that was pretty cool. But these guys are cool. This is important. This is where I train the most, Portland, Oregon. That's where I really sent it. I do miss Oregon sometimes. I just don't miss the weather. I need to post more on Instagram. I'm terrible at posting. I need to post more. Got to be more active on social media. More active. Loving life, man. Loving life, man. Loving life. It's been wild. So that diet, what were you eating? Well, I've always had a decent amount of muscle on me. Like I've been, this is like what? When was this? 2019. This is a throwback. This is in 2019. I've always had a good amount of muscle on me. I'm always in shape. This is like 2018, and let's post a little later. I've always had a decent amount of muscle. My thing is I don't like to stay lean. This is when I was like 22, right? So this is in 2012. Look how ripped I was, 2000. Like how this is when I was 22, right here. I look kind of buff right here, right? This is my old band, but I've always had a lot of muscle mass on me, so. I've been training and lifting weights since I was 18, 19, and I have good genetics too. So they're not like top tier genetics, but they're pretty decent genetics. And I've always been in like bodybuilding and like MMA at the same time. So it's always been tough because those and look how ripped I am right here, but those kinds of things like counteract each other because you don't want to be too buff for fighting because it slows you down. Like too much muscle mass has been down, but, and I'm 6'1", right? So and this is me with the army, look how like jacked I am right there. What I usually eat, though, is that I try to get at least 200 grams of protein a day. And if I'm cutting, I just try to eat below my maintenance by a few hundred calories, right? And then if I'm trying to lean bulk or something like that, you know what I mean? That's a little different then. But you just have to think about working out, like, and building muscle, is that you have to break down the muscle. Like, you have to work out hard. You have to go close to failure, right? When you're lifting weights, you have to really push yourself. You know, a lot is possible without steroids. Shout out to the Liver King, right? A lot is possible without steroids, right? There's a lot of people that are natural that people think they're on steroids. And to me, it's a compliment. If you're going to say I'm on steroids, that's a compliment, because obviously you don't know what you're talking about and what's possible for genetic limits. You know, I'm not Chris Bumstead or some guy who's fucking, you know, Chris Bumstead. Like, I'm no Olympic bodybuilder. Like, this guy's obviously on steroids, like, obviously, right? Like the Liver King. People were surprised that the Liver King was on steroids. Like, you guys are out of your mind if you thought the Liver King wasn't on steroids, you weirdos. You know. Yeah, big muscles are easy to. Well, it depends, because some guys are very like Gordon Ryan, right? And we know Gordon Ryan probably. We don't know Gordon Ryan probably takes stuff, but probably takes stuff. A lot of people accuse him of that, but he's the best. He's the best jiu-jitsu guy, and it's not even close, right? It's not even close, right? This is the guy, the best jiu-jitsu guy in the world. He's an American white guy, right? He's an absolute animal. You know, and he's built like this. He's a heavyweight, obviously, plus 200 pounds, but people accuse him of taking stuff. I don't know. This is achievable naturally. This physique is achievable naturally. You know, we just don't know what his genetic looks like. This is not too crazy, right? Why do crypto products sponsor MMA mostly? There's a lot of people in gaming and car culture that can be targeted too. I don't know. The Rock is 100% on steroids. If you don't think The Rock is on steroids, you are living in magical fairy tale fantasy land. Yeah, The Rock is 100% on steroids. He admitted to doing steroids in his life before. I don't know, right? Allegedly. But if I was a betting man, of course he's on steroids. You know, of course he is. I've been told that test is a life. Well, I'll start taking TRT when I'm like above 40. I think 40 is a good age, 40 something. So, but I don't need it now. My testosterone's fine. A lot of testosterone issues can be solved with a little bit of working out, good diet, lower your body fat. You know, trying to avoid stress and those sorts of things. But I'm out of here, guys. I'm gonna be out of here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I do appreciate y'all. Have a fantastic day. I'm training 2 times today, baby. We got 2 training sessions. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you guys. I will check back with you a little later. What did you say, Bernie? Rodney, my wife told me I need to delete my Tinder account or I'm out. I don't know what to do. Dude, don't just because your wife, tell your wife, you tell your wife, babe, what I do with my girlfriends is none of your concern. Okay. All right, y'all. Have a good one. Bye-bye.